Lights out. Time to run what you brung, and they're away in a puff of smoke. And down the front straightaway, Jamie Yegerstrom to the inside. Is he going to be able to get it? Oh, and he runs David Rod into the grass, and the McLarens have crashed. Looks like the McLarens took themselves out, and we've got caution flags flying in Sector 1. Bits and pieces of bodywork everywhere. Nick Van Gelder has jumped up into third. David Rod's trying to make a move around him. Tim Ventic went from 5th to 2nd and is now in hot pursuit of Jamie Yegerstrom. The caution flag flying again in Sector 1. And Jensen Randall has gotten the worst end of this deal. He is all the way in the back. He's got a flat right front tire. He's got wing damage. Oh, and around goes. Oh, that is Borbune. Got a little too much curbing coming off of the turn 5 there. Or turn 4, I should say. And noses it into the wall. So now some of the cars have to dive around him. That's Jesper Lempinen that just went around him. Caution flag flying in Sector 3. And that is where these guys are. I don't know what car they're coming up on. And we got a virtual safety car. Van Gelder looks like he might have had a couple of moments after that restart. He was running 4th behind David Rod, but looks like George Wilkes, Sandro Doulis have gotten by him, and we've now got this 4-car battle going on here. So that's Oleski in the 4th position. Nick Van Gelder battling it out with Sandro Doulis. Nick gets around Sandro. Oh, and there's a bit of contact there. Early braking from Oleski. Might have some minor damage on that front wing. And it looks like there's an issue now with George Wilkes. He lost a couple of positions. David Rod has caught back up to Tim Ventic and Jamie Yegerstrom. Tim, I don't know if Tim's biding his time, saving fuel. He seems to be comfortable riding in the 2nd position behind Jamie Yegerstrom. Oh, and Senna Haywire has retired from the session. Looks like he may have crashed out, because we've got a full safety car now, and this is going to change the race for sure. Oh, my Lord. Senna Haywire upside down on the front straightaway. I just caught that when I picked up Jensen Randall's car. He's getting ready to go. Tim Ventic trying to creep up and out on the front straightaway, and he's going to go full bore. And it's a good restart for Jamie Yegerstrom. He's got Tim Ventic behind him. It looks like David Rod might be trying to look and make a move on Ventic as they get in there. Meanwhile, Tim Ventic running in the 2nd position. I haven't really seen Tim try and make a move on Jamie Yegerstrom. Been kind of following in his tire tracks this whole race. Now, I don't know if it's because that Williams just happens to be a little bit more trimmed out than the Alpine, and even with the DRS advantage, you can see Tim's kind of playing with the throttle a little bit. He's not going full bore down that front straightaway, even with the DRS. He is biding his time, it seems like. And here comes Jensen Randall. Jensen, who has had a... Whoa, and he almost loses the back end. Jensen Randall had that contact with his teammate Free Abile on lap 1 heading into turn 2, dropped him all the way to the back of the field. He's managed to get on a fresh set of hards before the safety car, and a big twitch there from Jensen Randall. David Rod running in the 3rd position. David, I think, is getting a little impatient with Tim's strategy here. Tim been pretty comfortable running in that 2nd position, but I think now's the time to start making a move. Yegerstrom hasn't been able to gap these guys. Top 3 cars, Jamie Yegerstrom, Tim Ventic, and David. Oh, what a big moment there for Tim Ventic. gets into the back of Jamie Jägerstrom, and that is now going to cost him. He might have possible wing damage. And that has allowed David Rod to catch back up and close the gap onto Tim Ventic. George Wilkes closing in on this battle. And George Wilkes trying to make... Oh, and Tim Ventic has left the session. Tim Ventic's left the session. And does that mean his car has gone AI? He's going to lose positions now. So that moves David Rod into the second place. George Wilkes is going to come around him, and that is unfortunate for Tim Ventic. Unbelievable. And Oleski gets a 3-second time penalty for cutting a corner. He is trying to avoid the car of Tim Ventic that is clearly losing pace because it has now gone AI. And then we've got this whole gaggle of cars here, and Jamie Jägerstrom finally getting threatened from David Rod. David Rod's going to make the move to take the top position over. Jamie Jägerstrom had been out front of this race for so long. And now Jägerstrom, he's getting a little bit of a bump and run here from George Wilkes. Wilkes is going to turn on the DRS and try and get around him. He's to the inside. Jägerstrom's got that Williams trimmed out just a little bit more than most of the other cars. Roddy in the slipstream. Now he's going to have some DRS maybe as they come down the dog leg. He's got a good run coming out of that corner to the inside of Jamie Jägerstrom. They make contact. They're almost making more contact. Oh! And Jägerstrom chops the nose off, slams the door on Wilkes, but he's coming back to try again down the short chute. Good run out of the final corner, and look at this. Jägerstrom's going to run him all the way down to the wall. Wilkes to the inside, and they're going to make contact. A little bit of shoulder rubbing, a little bit of bump and grind, and a big hit there. A big shoulder check from Wilkes as he comes off of the curbing and into Jägerstrom's car. Jägerstrom's going to dive back to the inside. Can't make the move. Meanwhile, Jägerstrom and Wilkes still going side by side as they come out of that corner. And Jägerstrom swings across the nose of George Wilkes' car. Meanwhile, this is going to allow Oleski to go around the outside, and there's contact. Nick Van Gelder and Oleski both make contact with George Wilkes, and that's going to drop Wilkes back into the 5th position. Jägerstrom is now in 2nd, Oleski in 3rd, and Nick Van Gelder in the 4th. And Borbune has retired from the session. Full-blown safety car. Looks like Jamie Jägerstrom's coming with him. Oleski's coming with him. Nick Van Gelder. George Wilkes is going to stay out and try and capitalize on this. And he is off to the races, and that's a good restart for David Rod. So Wilkes is going to hang on to that lead as they head into the first corner. David Rod's going to get a good run coming out of turn 2 and around the outside. George Wilkes under threat. David Rod around the outside. It's going to become the inside. There's a little bit of contact with Jägerstrom from the back. And George Wilkes is going to get pushed out wide. He is now down into the 3rd position. And Oleski to the inside. Oh, that is tight. And Wilkes picks up another 3-second timing penalty. Here comes Nick Van Gelder on the inside of Oleski. That's going to be for the 4th position. Here comes Jensen Randall. He is going to make a move. And Jensen Randall trying to get the 2-for-1 deal as he tries to get around Nick Van Gelder as well, but can't make it happen. Van Gelder holds him off. Oleski starting to drop through the field along with that 3-second timing penalty. Wilkes gets hit from behind, and he is now going to cause a pile up at this corner. Oh, what a big hit there from the Sauber. And that's what happens when you try to restart on 15-lap old tires. Race control, DRS is enabled. Doesn't matter. George Wilkes went from leading this race to dead last, 16th in 1 lap. Meanwhile, Jägerstrom got around David Rod in that melee. Nick Van Gelder is up into 3rd. Here comes Jensen Randall. Unbelievable race for this guy. I don't know how he does it. Now, it should be noted that David Rod, Jamie Jägerstrom, and Sandro Doulis, the only drivers in the top 5 that do not have a timing penalty. Meanwhile, Free Abile is behind here trying to get a move on Oleski, and he drives him into the gravel. And Oleski's going to smack the wall, and that's going to allow Noel to catch up as well. David Rod going to the inside. Jägerstrom trying to close the door, and Jägerstrom's been a bit aggressive on defending his position today. David Rod manages to get around him. David Rod coming out of the final turn in only his 6th race. He is going to pick up his maiden win here at Australia to kick off season 10 and run the fastest lap on top of it.